Yeah, I'm still trying to work out my pick. I haven't figured it out. I've been, poor mouthing Ohio State so badly that people on our site have accused me of being too negative. And I'm a guy that usually, if they were playing the Patriots, I'd pick Ohio State typically. But I don't know. I'm really kind of conflicted on this. I think that there's some good football in there. I just wish that we had seen it, in more of the key moments, and maybe there weren't enough key moments. I mean, the schedule maybe didn't test this team enough to where you got a full gauge on exactly what you had. But um, I guess this game could go 37-34 either way. I just saw ESPN's computer model says Georgia wins 56% of the time by an average score of about 3 points. So, the computers think it's close. Of course, the computers don't play the game. And, I think if Stroud can have that kind of huge game and Ohio State can somehow get into the high 30s and low 40s or wherever, then they're in this thing in the fourth quarter. But, are they going to get enough stops on defense? Are they going to hold Georgia in the red zone with those tight ends that are just going to be such a mismatch, down there in the red zone particularly? So I'm open to anybody's suggestion. If anybody has any ideas on what I should do, send them along. I'll read them and give me your reasoning why you think this is going to happen, and maybe I can be swayed. But I'm thinking it's a tight game either way.
Yeah, as I told the story earlier, I went on one show and picked Georgia, fully expecting by game day that I would probably pick Ohio State. Right now, I'm within about a 14-point range, one way or the other. Not 14, this team wins by 14 or that team wins by 14. Just, either Ohio State wins by 4 or Georgia wins by 10. I don't know. I think the most telling stat for me is, what does Ohio State do in the red zone? What does Ohio State do in the red zone? 1, are they putting points up? And 2, are they putting up 7s instead of 3s? We can go back to the 2019 game against Clemson, and they were putting up 3s. And even though it looked like they had the game in hand for a while, then they didn't, and they had a couple of bad breaks. You move to 2020 game against Clemson, Ohio State's putting up 7s, and they smacked Clemson around, even though Clemson got on the board first. So if Ohio State is able to score in the red zone, and, of course, the great equalizer there is if Ohio State instead is hitting 25-yard touchdowns, which is not necessarily something anybody's proven before. So, I mean, LSU, had some bombs. Things could happen there. But I think that Ohio State certainly has an opportunity. I think this Georgia team is really, really good, but we're not that far removed. Before the Michigan game, everybody was saying, it's 1 and 1A. It's Ohio State and Georgia. It's Ohio State and Georgia. Well, Ohio State laid an egg. Ohio State played bad. I think the biggest concern, though, I have right there is it's not like Ohio State looked great against Maryland. We've already kind of talked about the Northwestern game. I mean, the last time that I really feel like Ohio State came out and played Ohio State football was the Penn State game. And people who didn't watch the game will be like, well, that wasn't really a huge margin. Well, Ohio State really took it to the Nittany Lions. JT Tuimoloau had a freaking amazing game, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they can channel some of that Penn State, Katie bar the door.